Hey, welcome to Swapmoto Live, presented by OGO. My name's Don Maeda, Editor-in-Chief of Transworld Motocross Magazine, and I'm joined in studio today by my friend Broc Tickle. So, Tick, thanks for coming down today.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me.
Did I interrupt any busy schedule today or anything?
No, not at all.
Nothing, huh?
Not much has been going on, so I was open to come, and obviously I enjoy your company, and we're here.
No homo, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking about when I was driving here, my first memory of you was not as an amateur, but it was your pro debut at Glen Helen. It was 06.
Yep.
Were you riding an all-white Honda with a white eggshell helmet?
Maybe not the helmet, but
the helmet wasn't white?
It might have been.
It was white with no graphics.
So I rode for MDK that weekend. So obviously being from the East Coast,
yeah,
I drove to Millville my own after Loretta's that year, and then went to Steel City, and I didn't get accepted for Unadilla. So I missed Unadilla because the entry list was full, and talked to Danny Palladino and rode under MDK for Glen Helen.
It's kind of odd for a guy to make a pro debut in the 450 class, isn't it?
Yeah, we knew the 250F that I was racing at the time wasn't competitive enough to put myself in a position to. We felt like just the 450 was a better plan of action to try to get a ride and do this professional motocross career.
Yeah. Was that always the goal when you're coming up? Like, this is what I'm doing for a job? Not
really. When I was like 14, that's when I kind of made the decision that my dad sat me down and basically was like, if you want to do this and you want to turn pro, I need to know now. If you don't, we're going to back off a little bit and stick to staying local and not worry about spending so much money to get you to the amateur nationals you need to.
Yeah.
And we moved forward, and it went well so far.
And then my second major Broc Tickle memory was the podium.
The dog.
When you thanked your little dog.
Yeah.
Why did that cause such a stink?
I think...
it was Larry Brooks, right?
Yeah, Larry Brooks started it, but I think he just heard that, and then that was one of the first things that came out of my mouth, so I think he just heard that and ran with it, you know what I mean? I mean, I did thank my mechanic and sponsors in the interview, but that's what came out first, so then that's what got brought up in these forums.
Yeah, and that was Canada, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Toronto.
Yeah.
2009. Yep.
Okay, flash forward, 2011, Western Regional Supercross champion.
Yep.
Did you ever think you'd make it to that point?
I didn't even think I would make it to winning a race, and that was in 2010 Seattle. And then when I did that, obviously Star Racing wasn't the pinnacle team at the time or that it is even now for the lights class, and I knew if I could go to Pro Circuit or even Geico, there was a shot that I could win a championship, especially after finishing on the podium a couple times that year in 2010. So hounded Mitch for a solid month in his office. Drive there. Sorry, he can't see you right now. Drive home. Call him. Don't answer. Go to the office.
Yeah.
Got to see him 2 or 3 times maybe, and probably the most nerve-wracking conversation you can imagine.
Yeah.
For me, just because he would just sit there and let you talk, and I just wanted to show him that I wanted the ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's why I ended up getting the ride in that scenario.
Yeah, I've heard a few stories like that about Mitch. Like, you know, like I would have assumed that Mitch recruited you to join the team.
Yeah.
But I've heard several stories like that. Like Matt Walker, for instance, would go there all the time and pitch Mitch, give me a chance, give me a chance. So like, I have to imagine like Mitch to me is like, maybe I've met him in his more mellow years or whatever, but I mean, he's always been super cool to me, but I'm a journalist. So as a guy you're trying to get a job with, he has to be super intimidating.
Well, no, for sure. I mean, and I think he kind of cooled. I know, or prior to me being there, there were stories obviously that he was pretty strict and pretty gnarly on his guys, but I think around the time frame that I went there, he definitely mellowed off, and even now we have good conversations and whatnot, and he's not intimidating, but I knew it was something I had to do at the time, and I had an offer to stay at Star, but I knew it was time to move up or move to Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki.
Yeah. When you get on that team, like, I mean, you know, a stock 250F is fast.
Yeah.
and then you get on a team with a race bike of that caliber. It's not even comprehensible to a normal guy, right? Like how powerful those things are.
Not only that, just how good everything feels. Like when you get on it, it just feels good. That's what happened the first day I rode it. Like I know it was new and it was different, and obviously the first thing you're going to notice is what your bike didn't do prior to that first.
Yeah.
So, but there was nothing I could pick out that I didn't like. I was feeding off the feeling 100%, and I think that's what put me in the mindset to go out and win the championship that following year.
Okay, so winning the title, huge milestone in your career. Did you run out and do anything dumb with your bonus?
I actually wrote a check to the IRS at the end of the year. And put half.
Was that for previous?
No, it was for the following year. If you look at it in the big picture now, not half of it, basically half of it went down on my house, and the other half I paid to the IRS.
Okay, well, hey.
So I got the house, and the payment's low, so can't complain.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so transitioning into the 450 class, why is it easy for some guys to come off 250s winning, just boom, straight into 450s and winning, and other people, it's not as easy?
Yeah, like myself, it was Supercross in 2012 was difficult. I was all bits of struggling. I think a lot had to do with it. I didn't reset after I won the championship. Still, it took me a long time to like gather up and make another plan. You know what I mean? Like that became a goal that was so big that I kind of forgot about stuff after that. You know what I mean? So it took me a long time to get regrouped. And then Mitch had a couple of meetings with me, and he was on me. I mean, he should have been. And I ended up almost having to ride 250 outdoors, and I was kind of upset about it. And I used that as fuel, and I got on track and had a good outdoor season.
You've always been known in the 250 class, 450 class, as like super consistent guy.
Yeah.
You're the workhorse. Everyone can count on to finish, well inside the top 10, around top 5.
Yeah.
Get on the podium here and there. That's more than 90% of the sport, people in the sport will ever accomplish.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that's not enough for you, and you still have this burning desire.
No, for sure. I felt like this year, like I was just breaking through that barrier to be that guy that's going to be fighting for podiums every weekend. And I felt like where I was at, I was just going to build more. And 100%, like if you go out and get top 5s, top 7 every time, and you have one guy that maybe finishes close to you in the series, but he has maybe a couple heat race wins, a couple hole shots, so they might pick that guy over you just because of that. Even though at the end of the series I beat them, they would rather have something like that, which is understandable to a certain extent, but I don't know. It's kind of hard how the sport works.
Since that time when you had to market yourself to Mitch, have you had to do that again?
Kind of with the KTM last year. RCH was like a home. To be honest, there was obviously some years where things didn't get done till late, but I was always somewhat kept on page with what was going on. So that wasn't really me telling them that I needed the ride, that they knew. But for KTM, I felt like it was the same kind of scenario that I needed to make it happen. And
so were you driving down to Temecula and asking to see Roger?
No, I was on the phone with Ian quite a bit. We met for lunch a couple times, and nothing really ever got done right away, but I saw it coming together nicely way before it even happened. So, and I knew Dungey kind of was on his way out, so I knew that they were going to need somebody, and there was even thoughts of them maybe having 3 guys. So I felt like it was a time for a change for me for being at RCH, and then with them closing doors. I didn't know for sure if they were closing doors, but obviously this time I felt like it was going to happen, and it did. So if I go back and look, if I wouldn't have put myself in that situation to get the KTM ride, I might not even got a ride.
Yeah.
Because at the time there was not that many spots available, and then a couple guys were doing really good, like Justin Bogle and Outdoors turned it on and got a overall win at Budds Creek, and that was right around the time frame I got my KTM deal done. So, I mean, there's a lot of juggling when it comes down to for the 450 class right now. There's so many good guys, and the guys that stay healthy seem to get the rides, and then the guys that get injured kind of either stay in or stay out, you know what I mean? So it's difficult.
Cool. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, but when we come back, we'll talk about 2018 and how it turned out after April 13th.
11.
Stay tuned.
Hey, what's up? I'm Brooks Wheelan and I'm a stand-up comedian. And today I'm gonna compare 3 different types of bags to the Ogio Alpha Convoy 320 backpack. First of all, let's compare my college pillowcase. Now my pillowcase material is made of 100% cotton and then years of just sobbing into it at night. But when it comes to the Ogio 320, it's made of Cordura eco-made fabric. It's lightweight, durable, and it's highly sustainable for the earth because it's made of recycled plastic. Also, this thing's got reflectivity. If light hits it, it'll shine back. You're not gonna get hit by a car. If you do, it's not the bag's fault. There's no reflectivity on this at all, and actually you probably shouldn't be seen out of the house with it because they'd be like, that's weird. What are you, Linus? I think I can do without that if I'm going on an airplane. All right, now let's compare internal organization with a dope leather fanny pack. I mean, you're gonna get your Altoids mixed up with your Werther's Originals, and then it's just gonna be a mess. And if you were supposed to have a pouch like this, you'd be a marsupial. Now, this is very different when it comes to internal organization. It's got this cool waterproof zipper with 2 different pouches, one for your laptop, and then a whole nother one for a tablet. You can put those guys in there. You have a separate pouch here if you wanna put your notebook where you write down all the thoughts that someone else read. They would make you talk to a doctor. Put your headphones in there, easy access to your wires to charge your phone. Over here is for the water. It's got its own little key hook. Check that out. Boom. That's actually fun. Check it out. There's a place for everything in this backpack. Sorry, cool leather fanny pack. I gotta go with Ogio 320. Now let's compare the Ogio 320 to the Stick and Bindle when it comes to customizable options. This is a classic, okay? Every John Steinbeck novel, somebody's walking along, accidentally killing somebody, and then having to go hide in the woods. You know, as much as I like the Stick and Bindle, I feel like the Ogio is more customizable. Now these are the Ogio mod system. They're sold separately and are customizable with the entire Ogio Alpha Convoy collection of bags. These are really easy to use. Down here, hook, hook, one more hook, boom. Now your bag's got another bag. Also, it's got a pass through. Put the handle straight through there. Then you got the bag on top of your bag, wearing a bag. That's like a Stick and Bindle with a fanny pack. So for customizability, I'm going to have to go with the Ogio 320. Check out the Ogio Alpha Convoy 320 backpack. It's a cool bag. It's helping the environment. Feels nice. I actually feel stronger wearing it.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the ride.
Since 1973, FMF has been about getting more out of riding motorcycles. More power, more wins, more fun. Innovation and American craftsmanship makes FMF today's leader in performance. FMF, feel the power.
Hey, welcome back to Swapmoto Live, presented by Ogio. I'm here with my friend Broc Tickle. We hinted at it before the break, but you know, the year was going well for you. You're gaining momentum this year in Supercross with the Red Bull KTM team, and the shit kind of hit the fan in April, right?
Yeah, it happened right before Minneapolis Supercross. Was boarding a flight because we had press day that weekend on Thursday night, and went to go to the bathroom, came back, went to go get my boarding pass and opened up my phone, and email popped up on the screen and said FIM legal department. So right away I was like, I have to open this. And then I read it and I was like, you got to be kidding me. So called the team, called Alden. I mean, I called everybody that it mattered to right away to let them know. And they were like, well, I was like, should I just stay here? Because obviously I can't race this weekend. It says it right here. No, I flew to the race still. We met at the track, tried to go down for press day, and Gallagher pulled me aside, said, sorry, it's probably not a good idea for you to go out for press day. I mean, you can if you really want to, but you're not going to be able to race. So that's whenever we decided just to go back to the truck, and then I flew home that night. Monday morning, went straight to the lab, did a urine test for WADA code there, clean. Dropped off some supplements, and that testing took a while, but nothing came back. And since then, it's kind of been, it's the same old story.
It's up in the air, yeah.
Yeah, no hearing date still. There's really, I feel like in my position, there's not much I can do. That's what makes it bad. You know what I mean? I don't really have any force behind me to tell them what to do or how to do their job, but I feel like it's not done the right way. Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you who may have been living under a rock all year, right, and haven't heard, there was a WADA drug test at the San Diego Supercross, and Broc tested positive for methylhexamine.
5-methylhexamine, 2-amine.
There you go. But it's a substance found in like nasal sprays and
decongestants and pre-workouts. I mean, it's
like the CrossFit meathead guy.
It's
right?
literally like so broad. Like I don't know how it can be in a decongestant and in a pre-workout. So I mean, the lab I talked to obviously has dealt with cases because they deal with some pro cyclists there, and just that compound is so. They're like, could be anything. Yeah. Honestly, any kind of powder could be in geranium oil. Which is, I mean,
massage oil.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. So, like I said, I went and got tested myself the Monday after I got basically notified, and nothing came up. So that kind of made me feel even not worse, but like now looking at it now, it's like hard to accept the whole process. You know what I mean?
From the small bit of information I know about the substance.
Yep.
It's not even a supplement that would benefit an endurance athlete like a motocrosser, right?
Yeah, so
it's
basically,
like burst type things.
Yeah, it's the lab told me that it would basically, and doctors have told me that it would actually restrict your blood flow. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but I mean, we're athletes, and I think that just sounds like a negative for us. So. Yeah, the WADA code there's a lot of things on there we don't know about. You know what I mean? Obviously, they give it to us, but anybody can go on there and read it.
Yeah.
You'd have to go online, research each compound to find out what those compounds are found in, and that's not very easy to do. You know what I mean? And I mean, you can get in trouble for taking all kinds of stuff.
NyQuil, you could take too many aspirins or something, right?
I mean,
too many Advils.
There is a limit on coffee.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So Broc was issued a provisional suspension, and typically the way it works is then he has a hearing and they decide your suspension term or your fate, whatnot. But it's been 6 months, 7 months.
6 months.
And you've yet to have a hearing.
Yep.
And basically you're still just floating in limbo right now?
Well, the last couple of months have been difficult for me, to be honest, and I've needed something to do, and some came together this week for me, with helping a guy out for East Coast and get prepared. He's gonna be here next week. He raced MXGP last year, or MX2 overseas. His name's Marshall Welton, so I have that coming up. And it's a 3 month term to get ready for East Coast. Yeah. I'm going to help with training on the bike, off the bike, do everything with him, bike rides, gym, help with bike setup, maybe help with a little bit of sponsors here and there to get him going. and we'll see how it turns out. I'm excited for it because it'll keep me busy, and I enjoy doing that because it's like giving back, and then it almost puts me back in place, like I'm doing what I would normally be doing.
Yeah, it's hard to go from training and practicing and testing and everything in racing to nothing.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say is you're certainly not taking the time off and going to the beach, because I know you're still training, still riding your bicycle, and still pounding out really, really fast motos at the track. I mean, it's funny, you go to the tracks and there are a handful of top pros at any track in Southern California any day of the week. And if Tickle's there, he's most often like one of the, if not the fastest guy there. How much does that piss you off that you have all this potential? But you
I use it as, it's something I created since this. I was using it as fuel, you know what I mean? To keep reminding myself that I still have it, you know what I mean? And it's difficult to go do it, but I'd rather go do that than be slow. I mean, well, if I go ride around slow, is that gonna really make me feel better?
Yeah.
Might as well just lay the hammer and try to be the best guy there that day. Like you said, there was multiple days I felt like I was the best guy there. And that's just reassurance for myself that I still have it, and it's not time to hang the boots up, ultimately.
Yeah.
If I was slow and not having fun doing it, then it'd be time to think of an alternate route.
It kind of shows that you love dirt bikes. I mean, you're out there still riding them. It's like, it'd be really easy to understand you just saying, screw this, you know, and walk away from it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't rode now, and like, I went back to Michigan for 3 or 4 weeks, and I haven't rode in a month now, but all it takes is one more week for me to get back at it and be back up on my feet. Looking forward to maybe riding Supercross a little bit. I don't really want to ride it on my bike. I want to maybe get some help and maybe have a mechanic. Once Marshall gets here, maybe something works out where I can ride Supercross with them. So we'll see how everything pans out. I'm excited for the next this next 3-month period. Hopefully in that time frame, find out more with my suspension and my case. But use this in the meantime for something to feed off of and honestly learn from, because it's going to be a cool experience. And then I think for myself, maybe it might open my eyes for something to go that route when I'm done racing.
Yeah, cool. Well, hey, we're going to take another break for messages from our sponsors, but when we come back, we're going to find out a little bit more about what Tickle's up to.
This is Rachel Straight. As a professional mountain bike racer, I know what you fuel your body with is important, so I rely on Rhino Power before, during, and after my rides and workouts. I feel better, perform stronger, and recover quicker. Welcome back to Swapmoto Live, presented by OGIO. I'm here with Broc Tickle, who, so you just told me you're going to start training a guy for East Coast Supercross.
Yep.
and you're going to teach him how to do certain things. But I heard you say help him with sponsors. So are you going to send him down to Mitch's office and knock on the door?
No, I'll make all the initial phone calls, but the ultimate goal with that was to try to connect him with guys, you know what I mean? And me initiate the conversation and then let him take the relationship from there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's important in this sport. Over the years, like if you can connect with people and becomes friends with them, you never know when they might need your help, or if you can help them out again or later on, then obviously it's a benefit for both parties. So for me, that's the goal there. I want to help set the bike up a little bit if it needs it, and I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. It's something new for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not about me now. So
yeah.
So that's going to be something cool to learn and be part of.
Cool. All right. So you are still waiting to hear your sentencing or the term of suspension. Provisionally, it's 4 years, correct? Which is an Olympic standard.
Yes, I believe so.
In the past, Stu got 1.5 years, right?
Yep.
So best case scenario, we're hoping that Broc gets 1.5 years suspension, and then that will allow you to return for the Nationals in 2019.
Yeah, ultimately, I think the compound that I got in trouble for, I've seen, you can type it in online under Wikipedia, honestly, and find out what each athlete got banned for. And it's anywhere from 8 months to 16 to 2 years about. So if I could hit the middle, that could put me in for outdoors, and that would be something really cool. Because then I have, if I knew that now, it'd make things so much better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the
just
not
that
knowing.
wandering, whether I'm gonna race or not in outdoors, it kind of sucks, to be honest. I had options to go to Canada. I decided not to fulfill those. I want to stay here. I feel like I have a competitive year still to do here, and we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping for the best on the suspension once we get it, and from there it'd put a dot, an exclamation point at the end of that, and it'd be easy for me.
Yeah. One thing that's kind of kooky about the suspension is that Broc is prevented from earning any salary or money winnings in any athletic event, whether it's even a different sport, right? Like you couldn't go play golf or tennis and win money, because this past Red Bull Straight Rhythm, there was like an invitation from Red Bull to do a media challenge of sorts. And Broc and I were actually on a mountain bike ride together when I got the email. So I'm like, hey, you want to race for Team Transworld at the Red Bull Straight Rhythm? We'll build you a bike. And it was all systems go. And then you found out in the paperwork that you were disallowed.
Yeah, basically it just states that if you do collect money or race an event that you can earn money, it can affect your start date. So basically that would bring it from April, whatever Seattle Supercross was, because that was my last event. It would bring it to whatever Straight Rhythm was.
October,
so it's kind of hard to be like, if I was going to do that, I might as well. You
should have raced Canada.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even that though, like at the time, I was like, screw it, I'm going to Canada. Well, I only had like a week until the first race.
I remember that.
So I didn't have much time either way. So I think importantly, I stayed patient, and I'm trying to still stay patient.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's difficult because it's hard sitting still.
Yeah.
This racing dirt bikes is wide open, and everybody knows that who's done it. And when you go from wide open to stopped, it's not good.
Yeah.
So staying busy is important, and having a good support system.
Okay. If you were to say, screw it, I'm racing, I'm making a living with this while I can, your only option really is Canada, correct?
100%.
Because everywhere else is FIM.
Yep. Even the German Supercross, I believe, Australia, I mean, all of it.
Have you ever seriously considered, like, well, hey, this is taking too long, it might not turn out the way I want, I'm going to go to Canada and race my ass off for 3 years and then retire? Has that ever come into your mind?
Yeah, definitely. There was a couple teams I've talked to, and I told them where I was at. told him I still wanted to race here, and if I could do that, obviously that's what I was going to do. But if I have the option to come there, I'm willing to come if things go south. But that would be after knowing what my suspension is.
Yeah.
So my time frame in my mind is, if it's 2 years or more, go to Canada.
Yeah. You know, you could come to all 24 of the Transworld motocross racers.
I could do that.
Just mop up, dude.
Yeah.
So you are obviously still staying in shape, training. Well, rather, I know that you're cycling a lot. Are you still going to the gym and working out and stuff?
Yeah, obviously with the new thing starting with Marshall here soon. I've been getting a bunch of stuff together for me to have a full plan for the next 3 months. Like this whole next week that's what my plan is, to have a 3-month plan, and it's going to be very broken down, and basically each week's going to have its own gym program and this and that. And for myself, yes, I've been going to the gym, but the stuff I've been doing in the gym is to stay in shape for just at a personal level, you know what I mean? So for me, I've just been having fun doing stuff that I've never done before, or stuff that I've done in the past that I enjoyed. So I did some circuit training, which I haven't done in years, and it's been fun. Yeah. Honestly, and then reading and learning as much as I can with the resources I have to take on this 3-month period is going to be fun.
Yeah, you know, I can't believe how well you're taking all this, the uncertainty and everything. Like, Tickle and I are riding bikes the other day. We're climbing up Mount Baldy, and I'm dying. I'm sweating, and he goes, "Hey, what's your heart rate?" And I think it was like 160 or something. And I go, "What's yours?" 96. And he goes, "Methylhexamine, bro," and starts laughing. So, I mean, you're joking about it, you know? How are you able to stay so mellow about all this? I'd be going nuts.
I think it's just something that, I don't know, a trait that I've created throughout my life, maybe things I've learned. My personality just in general, like, I am mellow. I don't really get mad at people. And if I do, it's normally over the top. So, I like to keep it, I like to think about everything before I say anything or judge the situation, you know what I mean? Yeah. And for me to run around going crazy really isn't going to benefit me, or bad mouthing them or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So they don't know me personally. I don't know them personally. So it's kind of like, you can't really judge without seeing or talking to them. Yeah.
Okay, they always say that, like, you know who your true friends are in your downtime. So let's give you an opportunity right now to talk about the sponsors or your support group that stayed behind you through all this trying time.
This whole time, sponsor-wise, Alpine Stars I've been doing some testing for them for some of the new products they came out with, and we still have some more stuff to do. Other than that, I mean, I have friends. Tyler Keefe has been really helpful. Some of his mechanics helped me with my bike, changing tires, doing little stuff like that. And then, obviously, wife and family. I talk to Weimer almost every day. I mean, it's not a very big circle, you know what I mean? And that this sport can create a big circle really quick when you're doing good. Yeah. But whenever you're, like, in my situation, you realize who's there and who's not. Yeah. Obviously, Mike at Roy's is awesome. Him and I talk, honestly, I mean, we try to talk at least once a week on the phone. So, I mean, there's a group of people I trust and believe have my back for sure. Yeah. Well,
I know I speak for many when we say that it all works out in your favor. I for one, couldn't believe it when the news broke. I don't see it in your character, and you're not a guy that needs help being fit. So anyway, stay tuned to Transworld Motocross for breaking news as it happens with Broc Tickle. I'm looking forward to following your journey with this rider and your new capacity as a trainer. I'm sure you're going to be very successful in that capacity as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, dude. No worries. Thank you.
So thanks for watching.
Thanks,
Follow us on YouTube if you like what you saw. Bookmark transworldmotocross.com, and follow this guy on Instagram. It's Broc, at Broc Tickle, right?
Yep.
There's no 20
Simple.
on it? At Broc Tickle. Thanks for watching.